Man, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy Tyson 4D, aka Professor 4D, and man, this is gonna be a good one, bro. This is going to be a good one. The stuff that I have planned, you know what? Let me shut up. Let me shut up, man, because we're gonna get into it here. But I first and foremost just wanted to say congratulations about coming to the 4D Academy because you've actually taken action into the next step of improving your skills. And man, that right there alone tells me that you're one, motivated, and two, you're actually trying to get better at copywriting because what most copywriters just do out here is they only focus on trying to make money, right? They're just like, oh, how do I get clients? How do I get clients? How do I get clients? The fact that you're here improving your skill already tells me that I do genuinely see you becoming a full-time copywriter, right? So first of all, just good for you. Give yourself a pat on the back because you're actually taking a huge step to mastery right now. Okay, and you know what? Let me just get right into it. We're gonna get right into the subject matter for today. So we're gonna be talking a little bit about what we'll be learning over these 90 days and how it all works. Okay, and then we're gonna be going into some of the lessons, right? Providing some value, of course, and giving you guys kind of the foundation of becoming a copywriter that writes copy that's actually worth like 10K a month, right? Because it's like it doesn't matter how good your copy your outreach is, right? If your copy ain't good, it's like not going to go over well, right? You're just going to be struggling for a long time, and you're going to be wondering why. And you're going to be looking for your answers in the wrong places. You're going to be like, yo, what's the right outreach? What's the right outreach? Why isn't my outreach doing good? Well, it has nothing to do with your outreach. So let's just get into it, man. Why mastering copywriting is so important. The cost of sucking at copywriting. Okay, I do have my water here. The cost of sucking at copywriting. Why learning copy for free is garbage. How we're going to learn copy in this course and why it's so great. And before we start to get into things, I want you to write 3 emails so that you can compare them at the end. So you don't got to do that right now, the 3 email thing. I'm going to explain everything one by one just so that we are all on the same page. So moving on. So, guys, I want to explain the best paid athlete to you guys. Okay, maybe some of you guys have heard me say this before, but for those who haven't, okay, this is a really really important principle that you need to understand and get through your mind, man. Is that everybody wants to be the best paid, right? If you want to get paid 10K a month, that's what the upper end of like copywriters usually get paid. Usually, like the best copywriters who have been out here doing it for years. If you're just starting out and you got like 3 months, 6 months, 9 months under your belt, you're competing with these dudes who got 3 years, 5 years, 10 years under their belt. It's just the fact of the matter, right? So working on yourself, working on your skills like you're doing now is something that's, very, very important. And it takes usually, I'm not even joking, at least 6 to 9 months to get decent at the skill of copywriting. And I mean like 6 to 9 months of the right, like learning, of going to the right places. And a lot of people, they barely like study copywriting. They barely try to get better, right? But it's like if you want to be the best paid athlete, for example, you got to be the best athlete. The best paid athletes are the ones who score the most points. They're the ones who most steals, play the best defense, do the best players on the court are the highest players there. LeBron is one of the highest paid players because he's one of the best. You get me? So, and it's the same with copywriting. Well, I mean, with copywriting, it's not necessarily a meritocracy, but there's really 2 ways that you can sell things. You can sell things by improving the pitch, which is basically improving how you sell something. So you can get on like do outreach, right, and get on a sales call, and that's the pitch. But if you don't got the product right, if you don't got the product right, then you're not going to sell, right? If you got a great product, which is your skill, then it'll be much easier, much easier. So if you actually want to start making money as soon as possible, one of the best things that you can do is actually work on your skills, which is what a lot of other people neglect. So by coming here and working on your skills, you're going to be ahead of all those other copywriters, man. Okay. Now, the reason why most can't write good copy is because they weren't taught anything past the basics. You know what I'm saying? Man, if you learn how to write copy, like if you try to, if all you ever learn, right, is where you learn to write copy, then you won't really get that good. For example, let's say you bought a course, right, and it shows you, okay, here's how you can start copywriting. Here's how to write an email. Here's how to write this, right? And it shows you the bare basics. That course is geared towards beginners who don't know what they're doing. So that's all the information that you're going to get. If you want higher level information, usually you're going to have to go somewhere else. And there is like, and I'm about to get right into it here, but the market for brand new beginner copywriters is huge. It's gigantic, right? But the market for copywriters who have already started and are already copywriting and are trying to get better is much, much, much smaller. So it's way harder to find a good course that's going to actually teach you more than just the basics, right? More than just the cookie cutter advice. Like, oh, you gotta, work on flow, make things make things punchy, make things, disrupt the reader and hook them in. Like that's obvious stuff. If you're here, you should already know how to write an email. You should know the basics of writing and all that. This is where you come to actually learn to get good, like really, really good at your skill. Okay. And that's exactly why I created the program in the first place. And good info if you're trying to learn this stuff for free, now that's going to be really, really hard to come by. And it's going to, you can still get there. You can still get the result. Don't get me wrong. But it's going to take you way, way, way longer. And you're just going to require a lot more patience and persistence, right? A lot more patience and persistence. So, in order to shortcut the time to get amazing at copywriting, you need a step-by-step program that teaches you the lesser-known strategies and contributes to the 3 steps of mastery. The 3 steps of mastery are learn, study, and teach. Now, this is something, again, that not many people will tell you or show you, right? Because just learning something is that's just like, memorizing something. If I sat here and read a whole bunch of copy tips all day long, then that wouldn't really make me a great copywriter. But also studying, right? So if you just study, then it's like, okay, you just sit there and write emails for 5 hours every single day. You're not really learning anything new. Even if you learn and study, that's still, you're still not unlocking that real trifecta that's going to really lock it in for you. And the 3rd step, which is the one that people neglect the most, is teaching. Man, the teacher learns the most, 100,000% of the time. Always. Because if you're trying to teach somebody something or help somebody with something, you really don't understand the subject matter unless you're able to make them understand it, right? On a simpler baseline level. You might kind of know something or be familiar with it, but you don't really know something unless you're able to adequately explain it to somebody who is a complete beginner. So that's exactly why we have the lessons for you guys to learn. Daily lessons every single day for 90 days. And even after that, we got a study with the 90 daily assignments. Guys, at the end of every single day, you'll be given an assignment. And then, of course, we have you get to teach with the community by giving feedback and sharing your breakthroughs. Guys, being really active in the community is going to be huge. Because I'm telling you right now, by teaching, by helping other people, bouncing ideas off of each other, that is going to be the biggest game changer for you guys, 100%. So get in there, introduce yourself, tell people how long you've been writing copy for, all that basic stuff, what your goals are. And by doing that, man, you're going to spark the conversation, you're going to make some friends, and going on this journey with other people is going to be huge. It's going to be huge, and it's going to really, really help you out a lot. 1,000%. So like I said, our goal here is not just to learn how to write copy. It's not. Our goal is to be able to write copy that earns clients 6 figures a month and you 5 figures a month. That's what our goal is. And the only way that we're going to get to that goal, obviously, is if we write some pretty damn good copy. So let's get into it. In order to achieve that goal, we must reach a minimum of a 7 out of 10 skill level. And that's 10, I'm talking about mastery, bro. 7 out of 10 is higher than most of you guys think, I won't lie. If I'm being completely honest, I have not come across very many 7 out of 10 copywriters just in the community, just around. Most of it is to be completely honest with you guys, 3 to 4 to 5, almost the the basic stuff that can be improved. So by getting to that 7 out of 10 is going to actually give you access to those clients. You're going to unlock access to them. And then 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, and 10 out of 10 are going to build your leverage even farther, right? At the end of these lessons, you will hand in your final assignment, which will be graded, of course, by me. If you're not yet at a 7 out of 10 skill level, I'll be able to show you exactly what sections you should go back and focus on, okay? So while it is a 90-day program, at the end of the 90 days, you and I, like that's almost when the program really starts, right? Because now it's like, okay, I know that you have a base knowledge. So now I know how to help you so much better just by looking at your copy. And I can really genuinely help you get to that point, right? And the thing is, man, if you want to start something like a mentorship with copy, like if you want this somewhere else, an actual multiple 6-figure copywriter to review your copy for you and review your assignments, it's gonna, bro, that cost me, bro, I'll tell you right now, man, I've spent well over 10 grand on courses and mentorships and spent hours and hours and hours studying, learning, and teaching copy so that you don't have to, man. In these 90 days, I'm going to literally tell you everything that I know and make sure that you absorb it, and you're able to write copy at a highly proficient level. So, in other words, there's simply no question if your copywriting will be at the level that it needs to be to make 10K a month. This is going to give you the confidence to knock it out of the park with every client that you get. These lessons are not meant to be just casually watched or listened to in the background. If you want to get the full value out of the Copywriting 4D Academy, take notes, pay attention, and stay focused, and rewatch often, even if that means you have to take an extra couple of days to get to the end. Guys, if I go over a day, like let's say it's like day 4 or day 5, there's nothing wrong with going back and being like, okay, spending 2 days on day 4 and 2 days on day 5. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's no big deal, right? That just means that you're getting the most out of the material because there's a lot of material in here, right? And the way that I created it is I made sure that it was completely like only the stuff that you need to know and nothing that you don't, right? So it's very, very, very dense information. We're going to be covering a lot in a short amount of time. So if you don't get something, by all means, get in the chats, ask the questions to your peers, into the Academy members, and I'll be in there as well, helping you guys out. So before we get into the good stuff, I want to give you your first assignment. Okay. Create 3 emails in a document titled Day 1, Baseline Emails. Okay. They can be about anything, whatever. But I want you to create these 3 emails and think of it like a before picture at the gym. Okay. Because once you get through the whole 90 days of those lessons, you're going to look back at this copy and not even believe that you wrote it. So if you want an objective view of how far you've come, then this is exactly where you're going to get it from. Okay. So that's it for your day 1 orientation, guys. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. We're hitting at day 2. And of course, this is where the real lessons are starting. Okay. So this is where we're going to get into the nitty gritty. We're going to really start honing in our skills. And how I want to start is by teaching you guys the proper way to practice and the proper way to take information and make sure that you can actually retain it long term. Okay. So guys, thank you for coming and joining me on day 1. And of course, congratulations on starting the 4D Academy. So I'll see you guys tomorrow.